Brazilian young bitches is thirsty. I'm Hungarian. Beep, 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 beep. Hungarian. Hey guys, welcome back to another episode, and this is going to be a beauty school video. This is the first one in a series that I will be doing for eyeshadow application tips. So without further ado, let's get into it. As you guys know, in this beauty school segment, I want to share makeup techniques that I've learned that will basically take you from a beginner a little bit more advanced in your skills of applying makeup. So if you can see, something's a little bit off with my face, and it's my eyebrows. So as you can see, this eyebrow is done and this one isn't. Now this one still doesn't look super crazy because it's still groomed, but the reason I wanted to show you this is because doing your eyebrows first will make such a huge difference. Doing your eyebrows will basically frame your face, so you'll find that you'll put a lot less eye makeup on, and really I feel like makeup in general just by doing your brows first. And really doing my eyebrows first just mentally gives me time to game plan my look. We're gonna go ahead and do the other eyebrow, and it doesn't have to take you 30 minutes to do your eyebrows. Like, I can literally do my eyebrows within the next 30 seconds. So go ahead and put 30 seconds on the clock, and I will show you that I can do my eyebrows in that time frame. Now, of course, my eyebrows are groomed, so it's going to make it a little bit easier for me, but I'm just going to take a pencil and just kind of do short strokes, draw in a little bit. And by the way, I've not done this before, so I'm hoping I can do this in 30 seconds. And this is, again, not like an in-depth tutorial, but this will get the job done. So I just colored it in, and then I am going to take a little bit of my NYX eyebrow gel, and I do like to have a pretty nicely defined wing on the outer corner of my eyebrow. Hopefully I'm doing good on time. And obviously this is going to be a little bit more of a natural eyebrow look. Oh, I would get that right there. Okay, we won't count that. That was a one-off. That was a one-off. Alright, so hopefully I got done in time. What I'm going to do is just let that spot dry, actually, and then once it's dry, I'm just going to flick it off. That's the easiest way to do it. And I'm going to show you just some really basic beginner techniques for applying eyeshadow, and I'm going to keep it really simple. I'm going to just do two shadows. So these are actually from my Ulta contour kit, and I'm going to go on with the warmth bronzer, and then I'm also going to use the golden bronzer. And I'm actually only going to be using one brush. And I know we mentioned a lot of brushes in the previous video, but I mean, you do not have to go out and buy an entire brush set to get nice blended pretty looks. So you gotta start somewhere, and if you only have one brush in your eyeshadow collection, I would just get a simple blending brush. And this one's from e.l.f. It's called their blending eye brush, and I am 99% sure I bought this for $1, maybe $2. So why are we starting with two shadows? It's because you gotta start somewhere. You know, you gotta crawl before you can walk. So if step one is doing your eyebrows first, then step two would be applying a base or primer. I have this e.l.f. primer. I'm pretty sure it was a few dollars. These MAC paint pots, they're also very good. If you're more light-skinned, I know soft ochre is a very good color. If you're a warmer caramel complexion like myself, a good paint pot to use is called Laying Low. There's no G. So this is what I actually prefer. And bases and primers are very good because of a few things. So your eyeshadow is not going to crease. It's not going to be patchy and kind of stick in certain places. It's also going to even out your pigmentation. That way your natural eye pigment won't interfere with you blending, and it also won't show through if you're trying to achieve certain colors. Now if you're doing more of a natural look, that really won't matter as much. The more advanced looks you start doing with your eye makeup, the more you're going to want to trust in a primer. Something else that you can do is use just a little bit of concealer and a little bit of powder to set. So since we're only using one brush, I'll go ahead and I'll apply this just with my finger. And applying it with your finger is nice too because it really warms up the paint pot, and so it makes it a little bit easier to apply. And I'm going all the way up to my brow bone with this. Alright, now before you do anything, before you take a deep breath, before you check to see how well you did this, like literally before you do anything, you want to set the crap out of this, because if you don't set this, it's still going to crease and it's going to be a little tacky, and it won't allow you to blend as well as you normally would. And for this translucent powder, I'm using my NYX finishing powder. And with a really light hand, I'm just kind of brushing that on. You don't have to apply a ton of this. You just want to apply enough. And you'll kind of feel when it's enough. You'll know. And if you think you're putting on too much, then just stop. Stop. The more you do this, and the more you get to learn your face, your products, your powders, the more you'll just kind of start to learn to trust yourself. So since we're not doing a really heavy eye makeup look, I did go ahead and do my foundation first. But I do recommend that if you are going to be doing a very like intricate eye look, or if you're, let's put it this way, if you're going to be using eyeshadows that have a lot of fallout, then you will probably want to go ahead and do your eyes before you do your foundation. That way you don't mess up your foundation and have to go back in and contour and cover up things, which could either just mess up your makeup look or make things look kind of cakey around your eye area. But I do use the Urban Decay De-Slick Setting Spray, so I'm just going to go ahead and spray my brush with that. So go in with a light hand, always use less than what you think you'll need. And I like to just go in and swirl my brush. And then, wow, I got none of that on camera. So I like to go in and swirl my brush and then do the tap off. And hopefully you guys can see that in the camera where some of the extra powder just flew off. So that extra powder would have probably been on your face somewhere. So you always want to do a little swirl and tap. I know it seems a little, but it's the little things that will make the biggest difference here. So, and I'm using kind of a circular motion. So I'm going right above my crease right now. And I'm using a really light hand. And I'm blending out. So if you can kind of think of like an imaginary line that's from here to here. So obviously you don't want to go up that high, but you want to stop somewhere in the middle, and you just want to just either use these swiping motions or just circular motions. Swiping is good for blending color out more. Circular is when you want to kind of stay in one spot and just soften the look of a color. Now let's talk about how I'm holding this brush. So remember when I said you really want to learn your tools and you want to learn how to use your tools. So notice I'm not going like this with my brush. With like this, first of all, is way too close to your bristles. So when you're blending out, you want to be you want to be at the tip of your brush, because you're going to have a little bit of less control, and that's absolutely okay because we want a nice blended look here. And then you also just want to let the tools work for you. This is a blending brush. e.l.f. intended you to blend with this brush, so you don't have to be precise. Let the tools work for you. Get comfortable with your brush, get comfortable with your eyeshadow. So I want to go in with a darker shade to give it more dimension. So I'm gonna actually spray my brush again. Just kind of dampen it. And I'm gonna go into this golden bronzer color. Swirl it. So this time, I know when I first touch down, I'm probably gonna deposit a lot of color right there. So I wanna touch down onto my eyelid somewhere where I know I will have space to blend this out, and where it'll be okay even if I can't blend it out as much as I want to. And the perfect spot for that is right here in your outer corner. Like, that's just the perfect spot for it. So I'm gonna start here, and I'm gonna slowly start blending out. Okay, so you wanna, and I like to do darker colors. I like to go in a circular motion because you're not gonna accidentally swipe that color somewhere where it doesn't need to be. So I'm gonna start kind of in a circular motion. And again, I'm just kind of imagining that there's like an imaginary line out here. And I'm pretty much staying in between this corner of my eye and where the corner of my eyebrow ends. And this is where I'm depositing the color. So I'm dragging it a little bit in, but I'm focusing most of this on the outer corner. And I'm sorry if I'm not explaining this exact. I am, learning these YouTube videos too, so bear with me. So now I'm just kind of sweeping that color in the crease. Now at this point, I have a lot less color on the eye brush, so even though I'm sweeping it in, I'm still blending it in because it has a lot less pigment on it, so it's going to still give me that nice, soft, blended look. Alright, so I'm literally just going to go in with that lighter shade, and I'm going to start packing it in the inner third of my eye to the corner. And I'm just kind of packing this color on. And when you're starting off kind of dabbling into your eye makeup, it's a really good idea to start off with neutrals. I think it's a good idea to start off with a shade that's about 2 shades lighter than your natural color. And then for your crease, do a shade that's about 2 shades darker than your natural color. And then I also want to use this lighter color as a brow bone highlight too. You want to get really careful when it comes to brow bone highlights. I like to use stuff that looks really, really natural, because if you use something that's too light or too shimmery, it can start to look real clownish real quick. I mean, that's just my opinion, but just really want to be careful when it comes to that. So right now I'm just taking all the excess powder off of this brush. I'm just doing it on my arm. No shame in my game here. And now that I pretty much don't have anything on this brush, I'm going to go in with just really soft circular and swiping blending motions. And anything that I feel like just needs a little bit of extra blending out, I'll go in and do that. Which I don't feel like as much, because I think we did a good job with this one. Alright ladies, so I did want to make sure I showed you guys a close-up of our handiwork. So I did go ahead and add some eyeliner and mascara to that eye that we've been working on. And this is the end result in a comparison of all the techniques we applied today. I know a lot of my subscribers are really talented and really good at makeup. For example, I know BDB watches me, and I know, shout out to BDB, she's really good. I hope that either you guys are learning something new, or I hope that maybe this could serve as maybe a refresher course for you. Please, I would love your feedback on these beauty school videos. Alright guys, so that was it. Thank you again so much for watching. If you are not already subscribed, please subscribe and get more me and more makeup tutorials and makeup tips. And I can't wait to grow with you guys, to share. Yeah. Let's just watch some bloopers.
You gotta crawl before you can walk. Michael Jordan wasn't shooting 3-pointers before he learned how to pass the ball or how to dribble. So you gotta start with basics. I don't know why I'm using all these sports analogies, and this is a beauty channel. Before you learn how to bake a lemon meringue pie, you gotta first learn how to use a mixer. Before you learn how to bake a lemon meringue pie, you gotta learn how to separate your eggs from the egg whites. No, that didn't work either, huh? That really didn't roll off the tongue. Well, before you can walk, you gotta crawl. So, let's crawl.